So as we are doing yesterday, so still we will be doing first solution to the yesterday's problem, and then we will continue to today's topic. So today's topic will be covered like potentiometer and LDR sensor and gas sensor, and then we'll go to actuators. What will be the various ways to connect the actuator to Arduino. So I'm just opening sharing my screen. So yesterday's assignment 2 first question was write a program to print your name on serial monitor every second. So it was a very simple program. So you just need an Arduino board, nothing else for this. Okay, so we have to print the name every second. So we have to put that in a loop because that will be executed repeatedly. So in the setup, we have to just define serial.begin and the baud rate. Then in the loop, we have to just print serial.println and whatever your name is, and then just delay of 1 second. Okay. So I'm just simulating it. You can see it is printing the whatever the text we have given here. So if any of you are having doubt in this program, you can just put in on the chat. So I think this was a very simple program. We can move to next program now. So next program was write a program to print counting on serial monitor every half second. So you just have to select a variable and increment the variable and print on the serial monitor in every half second. So you can see the code here. The variable is taken as long int because if you take int, it will be just overflow after the 16 bits. So we have taken the long type variable. So that will be of 32 bits. Okay, and in the setup, that's the same serial.begin 9600 bit baud rate. Then in the while loop, we have just incremented the count variable and printed on the serial monitor, and then there is a half second delay. Okay. So every time it will be incremented, and the value will be printed on serial monitor, and then half second delay. So I'm just simulating it. So if you are having any doubt in this question, you can post it on the chat. Okay, no doubt. So we will be going for the next program now. So next question was make PIR based entry and exit counter. So in this question we have to place two PIR sensors, where the first PIR sensor will be outside of the door and the second PIR sensor will be inside of the door, and we have to count the number of persons in the room. Okay, so I'm just opening the solution.
Sir, there is a question. Can we debug the program line by line?
Okay.
Uh,
I think currently they are not supporting the debug option.
yeah, for debugging, what you can do is you can, in between, you can use print statement so that you'll be able to understand that where your program is stuck in.
Yeah, that will be a better option for this. So you can print on the serial monitor every time you want to check where the program is. But in some of the IDs, this option is available, but not in the Tinkercad right now. Now for the third question, now you can see there are two PIR sensors here, and one right side is the outside one, and left side is the inside one, which are PIR 1 and 2 respectively, and they are connected to pin number 8 and 9. Now this is a little bit complex program. So in this program, we have to check uh, the person is moving from outside to inside or inside to outside. So first we have to check both the sensors. If first sensor is activated before the second, that means a person is starting entering. And after that, if second sensor is activated, that means that person has entered the room. And similarly, for the exit also, the person will first cross the inside sensor and then the outside sensor. So you can see the code here. We have declared two constant or variables here, where pin number 8 and 9. Okay. So this visitor variable is used for counting the number of visitors. So this is initially 0, and this is the variable last PIR detected. So we will store which PIR has been detected first. Like if person is going from outside to inside, then PIR 1 is detected first, and if person is going from inside to outside, then PIR 2 is detected first. So we will change the value of this variable accordingly. And then there are two Boolean type variables. They can store only true or false. So these variables are used for keeping the track of which sensor are active at which time. Okay. So whenever the sensor is activated, we will put a true in that particular variable. Then in the setup function, there is a same statement serial.begin 9600, and because they are input to our Arduino, so we have made them as input both the sensors. And this is just a welcome statement written here. Visual counter welcome. And this is the now actual code which will be detecting the both the sensors and the state of the sensor and whether the person is going from inside to outside or outside to inside. So first is the checking for the PIR1 sensor, which is of the outside sensor. So we are checking if digital read PIR1 pin is equal to high. That means sensor has starting entering the room. Then we are checking if PIR1 is previously active or not. Okay. If we are checking this because sensor can be active, both sensor can be active at the same time, because some person may be moving from outside, some person may be moving from inside. So we just have to check whether this sensor was not active previously and now it has become active. So that's why this if condition is used. Okay. So if previously it was not active and now we are making it as active because we have detected the motion of the person, and then we know now PIR1 is active. Now we have to check if what was the last PIR detected. It was 1 or 2. Okay. So we are just checking if last PIR detected equal to 0. Okay. 0 means if it is the initial condition. Okay, means the no PIR was active at that time previously, and for initial condition, now we are making first PIR detected as 1, means last PIR detected as 1. That means initially there was no person, now first person has just started from the outside. Okay? And just we have printed PIR1 and visit started. Okay? Else if last PIR detected was 2, that means if last PIR detected was the inside PIR, that means the person is going from inside to outside. Okay? So what we have to do in that case, we have to decrease the visitors. Okay? Because the person is moving from inside to outside, so we have to decrease the person by 1. And we have now counted the number of visitors. Now we will reset the variable last PIR detected as 0. So it will now be going to the initial condition and just print the number of visitor exited, and total number of visitors. Okay. And first we have checked the if the outside PIR is activated or not. If not activated, in the else condition, we are making this active variable as false. Okay. So this is in this case we are detecting the first PIR. If that is initial condition, that means the entry has started, like in this condition. And if last detected was 2, that means the person is going outside with this else if condition. Okay. So similarly, we will do this for PIR2 sensor also. We will check whether it is activated or not, and if activated, then we will check if last activated sensor was PIR1, that means that some person has entered, or if last PIR detected was 0, that means it was initial condition. So that means already someone has passed. So we have to start the exit process now. So it is almost a similar code. If digital read PIR2 pin is high, then we are checking if PIR2 was not active, then make it active. Okay. And if last PIR detected was 0, that means it was the initial condition. So we have to start the exit condition now. Okay, so before starting the exit condition, we are checking here if visitors greater than 0. Because if visitors are already 0 in the very beginning, the count will decrease to -1. So that's why we are just checking if visitors are greater than 0. So that only in that condition we will start the exit condition. Okay, if we do not check visitors greater than 0, then what will happen if there is some false detection in the sensor due to any reason, so that the count will be reduced by 0 to -1 and -2 like this. Okay. So this condition will prevent our false detection of the PIR sensors. Okay. Okay, so we have now started the exit condition. That means last PIR detected should be 2 now, and just printed the exit started. Okay. And if visitors are not 0, then we have just printed no more visitors to exit. Okay. And then that's the same code as above. If last PIR detected was 1, that means the person has started from the outside, and now the PIR2 is detected. So that means person has entered inside. So visitors will be visitors plus 1. We are increasing the count of the visitors, and then resetting the variable last PIR detected equal to 0. Okay. Then again we are just printing the statement like visitor has entered and the total number of visitors here. And similar to the above condition, if the PIR2 is not active, so we have just make that variable as false. Okay. So we will just simulate this, so you will get a better understanding. So you can see there are two PIR sensors with two different range. Okay. I am just initializing it like this. I will just again start the simulation for a better understanding. Okay, so right one is the outside PIR. So a person is moving in front of the outside PIR from left to right to left like this. Okay. So now as detected in PIR1 visit started. Okay. Then in the second PIR, you can see if person is moving again from the door to the inside. You can see visitor entered now, and visitors is now one visitor. Okay. And now similarly for the exit condition, the person is moving from left to right. That means it will first cross the inside sensor PIR2. So the person will be moving like this from left to right, okay, like this. So that is printed in PIR2 exit started, and then the person will move from right to left from the outside sensor also, left to right, sorry, like this. And you can see visitor now exited, and the visitors is now decrement to 0. Okay. So earlier visitor was 1. So now the visitor has one visitor has exited. So count is reduced to 0. Okay. So you can now see some other cases how the person can move. Like a person started entering. Okay. But currently it is not moving to the inside sensor. Okay. So maybe if he is doing some work at the door, so whatever he is moving here and there along the first sensor or the door, so no action will be taken here. Okay. Then when he crosses the other sensor, then only the visitor count will be increased. Okay. In similar way, you can see if person has started from the inside sensor, like he is moving from left to right, and then he just maybe he stopped for something, he does not cross the outside sensor. So at that time, no action will be taken. Whatever he is moving in front of for layer 2 or at the door side, no action is taken now. Okay. So when the person has moved from the PIR 2 sensor, now if he is going to PIR 1 sensor, now you can see the visitor count is again getting to 0. So visitor has exited now. So this way we are preventing the false incremented and decrementing of the sensors, because we know if a person is moving to only one sensor, that means he has not either entered or not exited. He is just crossed the sensor and waiting for something. Now, other case will be when the person is moving, means the one by one persons are moving, and the visitor counter should be increased now beyond 1, 2, and 3 like this. Okay, so we will check that condition now. So now the person is moving from right to left like this. Okay, so the visit has started, and then the person is moved from inside sensor like this, and now visitor count is incremented. Okay, so now suppose the another person has came and from right to left like this, and again the visit has started. Okay. Now he is moving from PIR sensor 2. Now you can see visitor has entered and visitor count is 2 now. Okay. And similarly you can do follower count, like he is moving like this. So again visit has started. Okay. And again he is moving like this. Now visitor count is increased to 3. And similarly, when the multiple persons are exiting, so first person has moved from left to right from the PIR sensor 2. Now person will move from PIR sensor 1. Okay. I think this space is very less here. So you can see the visitor count has been decreased now. So this is the whole process of counting the visitors. So I will just summarize once again. What we are doing, we are just checking the which sensor is activated.
పడుకో మళ్ళీ 3 o'clock క్లాస్ కి ఉండదు. టేక్ రెస్ట్.
Someone was asking anything?
No sir, continue.
Okay. So the overall flow is, we are just checking the which sensor is activated, like we are checking digital read PIR sensor 1, and similarly we are checking the digital read PIR sensor 2. Okay. And inside that we are checking if PIR sensor 1 was previously not activated, then we have to activate that sensor. Okay. And similarly for the sensor 2 also. Then we are checking if it was the initial condition that last PIR detected was 0, and or the last PIR detected was 2, means it can be either the initial condition or it can be a condition like the person is moving from inside to outside. And similarly for the sensor 2, we are checking if it is the initial condition, if last sensor was detected as 0, or if last sensor detected was 1, means the person is moving from outside to inside. Then if it was initial condition and now the PIR sensor 1 was detected, so we are making that as variable as 1, and we are printing visit started. Okay. And similarly, if last PIR detected was 0, means it was initial condition and a person has started moving from inside to outside. So we are just checking if visitor is greater than 0 for false detection, and then we are setting the last PIR detected as 2 and just printing exit started. Then this condition, if earlier the PIR 2 was detected, now PIR 1, so that means the person has exited. Now visitor minus 1, the count is decreased now, and we have just printed the number of visitors. Okay. And similar case in this, if last PIR detected was 1 and now the PIR 2 is activated, that means the person is moving from outside to inside, so we have to increase the visitor count. Okay, and then reset the condition and print the number of visitors here. So this was a little tricky question. Okay, so as it was a complex question, so I will wait for the 5 minutes here so that you can see the code and check and match with your code if it was right or not. And you can post the doubts in the comment section. So I will just reduce the spacing here so that it will be easy to you for seeing it.
Rajit sir,
Yes, sir.
yeah, can you show the simulation for simultaneously one is entering and one is leaving?
Okay. Actually, from the mouse pointer, I cannot move simultaneously both the pointers. But
Okay,
yes,
imagine one is entering and the other one is leaving first time. Then
yeah, I know what you are saying that can create a problem that what it will be detected. It detects as entering or exit.
okay.
Okay, so we are just considering as a door where only one person at a time can enter or exit.
Okay.
You can first post in the chat section if you have done this or completed this experiment, or if you have any doubt in this. room so that you can understand it better. Okay, if no doubt is for now, so we can move to next exercise. The next exercise was fire alarm system using TMP36. So you have to use a temperature sensor and detect the temperature, and if it is above some danger level or threshold level, then you have to turn on the buzzer and the LED. Okay, so that is a simple experiment. Okay, so you have to interface three components here. One is the temperature sensor, buzzer, and LED. So LED is in this experiment is interface to pin number 12, buzzer to pin number 6, and temperature sensor is analog sensor, so it is interface to analog pin A0. Now you can see the code. So this all was the yesterday's code where you have taken the sensor pin number and the variables. So we have taken two more variables now, LED and buzzer. And in the setup, we have made the LED and buzzer as output, okay, because that are the digital components, and that for printing serial dot begin 9600 baud rate. Now this all code is same as the what you have done yesterday. We have taken that reading from the temperature sensor using analog read, then convert into millivolts by multiplying it by 5000, dividing by 1024, and then we have converted that millivolts into Celsius from the information taken from the data sheet, and then printed the temperature. So just now we have to check if temperature is greater than some threshold, then we have to make the buzzer and LED on, and if it is below threshold, we have to make the buzzer and LED off. Then there is a 1 second delay, so that in every second it is checking the temperature. So we will just open the now start simulation. So you can see the temperature is currently 24.71. Okay. So we have checked the temperature condition as greater than 80. You can take any other limit also. So I am just increasing the temperature from the slider. Now it is increasing 35, 44, 66. Now it is above 80. You can see LED is on and the buzzer is also making sound. Decreasing it. Now again, buzzer and LED both are off now. So it is just simple digital write statements. If the temperature is greater than 80, then digital write, LED and buzzer both are high, and else both are low. So if you have any doubt in this, you can just post on the chat. I think that this was also a simple experiment, and if there is no doubt, we can move to the next experiment. So the next experiment was make automatic distance maintainer. So if the distance between the sensor and the object is less than 20 centimeters, or whatever limit you can set, whether it is 20 centimeter or 50 centimeter, then turn on the buzzer and print the too close, please maintain distance. So it is similar to the fourth question. So instead of temperature sensor, you are using an ultrasonic distance sensor, and instead of LED, you are just printing too close, please maintain distance. So we have interfaced the buzzer and the ultrasonic sensor here. With buzzer interface to pin number 6 and ultrasonic sensor trigger pin is interfaced to pin number 4 and echo pin is on the pin number 5. Okay. So now we can see the code here. We have taken two variables, trigger and echo pin, and one for buzzer. We have taken again two variables, one for duration and one for distance. Then buzzer will be as output, and for the ultrasonic sensor trigger will be as output, and echo will be as input. Okay. Then for printing purpose, we have taken serial dot begin 9600 baud rate. Then digital write trigger low. Initially the trigger will be low. Then we have to provide a pulse of 10 microsecond. So in the loop, a 10 microsecond pulse is provided to the trigger pin. First it is high. Now we are waiting for the 10 microsecond using delay microsecond, and then we are making digital write trigger as low. So that will create a 10 microsecond pulse on the trigger, and the sensor will start working. And then we are checking the duration of the echo pin with the pulsing function. So how much time it is taking for the high signal. So we are getting that duration and converting into distance. Like, distance equal to speed into time. Duration is in microsecond, and speed of the sound is 340 meter per second. Now we are calculating distance in the centimeters. So we can rearrange the formula like this and divide by 2 because it is using the sound waves and it is first transmitting and going to the object and reflecting from the object. So that means it has taken double the time. So we are dividing the time by 2. So we are just printing the distance here, and then we are checking if distance is less than 50, please maintain distance. And we are printing the distance also and making the buzzer high. And else we are making the buzzer as low. So it will be turned off. So it is very similar to the previous experiment. So we'll just start the simulation here. So here you can see the distance is approximately 90 centimeters. So I'm just decreasing the distance of the object to the sensor. When it is below 50, the buzzer will be turned on. And it is printing, please maintain the distance, and whatever the distance is. Now, when I am moving the object away from the sensor, now it's greater than 50, so it is not printing anything, and buzzer is also turned off. So if you have any doubt in this exercise, you can just post in the chat.
Sir, it may be useful for in this pandemic situation to maintain the social distancing.
Yeah, that we can also use. If someone is coming from our backside or that side we cannot see, so that can make an alarm or indicate us. And these sensors are also used in the robotics so that the robots do not collide with each other or with some wall or like this. So I think this was a simple experiment again. So we are moving to the last experiment and then we will take a break. Okay, so now the next experiment was write a program to divide the distance into 4 ranges. So we have to turn off the LEDs and buzzer in case of range 1 and turn on one LED in case of range 2, then turn on the two LEDs in case of range 3 and turn on the buzzer for range 4. Okay. So we will just see the program, which is half program will be same as measuring the distance from the ultrasonic sensor, and then we have to just divide the distance into ranges and make the LEDs and buzzer off or on accordingly. So here you can see there are two LEDs connected to pin number 12 and 13 and one buzzer which is connected to pin number 3, and then ultrasonic trigger and echo pin connected to pin number 7 and 6. Okay. So we will quickly go through the code. So this all is the same code up to this point. Okay. Now we have to just check the sensor range. So we have divided the sensor into ranges like it is less than 100, then 100 to 180, then 180 to 260 and 260 to 380. And as the range of the sensor is maximum 400, so beyond that it will give a false reading. It will not detect, and below 2 centimeters also it will give a false reading. And just we are checking the distance is less than 100, then that means it is in range 1. So that means buzzer and both the LEDs are off and we are printing range 1. And similarly, if the distance is between 100 and 180, that means it is in range 2. We are turning on one LED, this one LED, LED 2, and we are turning off the other LED and the buzzer and just printing the range 2. And whenever it is in range 3 between 180 and 260, then we are turning on the both the LEDs and still making the buzzer off and printing the range 3. And the last range we are checking it greater than 260 and less than 380. So it is printing digital right. Both the LEDs are off now and buzzer is on and we are printing range 4. Okay. I think this one is also a simple program. Just we have to check the ranges and accordingly we have to do digital write or print statement. Okay. So if you have doubt, you can post in the chat, and we'll be having a 10 minutes break for this session. Then the next session after the 10 minutes break, we will start the potentiometer and then LDR sensor and gas sensor. So if you have any doubt, you can post here and take a 10 minutes break.